Welcome to Dancing with Time, hosted by Beth Amin and me, Patty Teal. This podcast is all about self-care, inspiring and supporting each other to live our essential nature, which is timeless. I'm not young, I'm not old, I just am. Join us for conversation, movement, and meditation. Let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again to Time Out with the Twins. We're so delighted, as always, to share these conversations and methodologies of self-love and self-care with you. And here's my dear twin, Patty Teal. I'm not sure which side she'll be on.
Me neither.
She's just everywhere. And our basic premise every week is not methods of self-care, but not just stuff, the whole spectrum of it, but not just, like getting your nails done. It's really the deepest levels of self-care and how you navigate the moment to have the most full and joyous life at all times, no matter what the circumstances are. So that's what we're all about. And we have an improvised topic every week. Like, I didn't even know what Patty was thinking. She didn't know what I was thinking. And we're going to just talk about that and see how these topics segue. That's kind of what comes up for us this week. But I feel I get so many signs of the topic, even this morning before we do it, that I know that we're on target. There's a lot of synchronicities. So Patty, get going. What were you thinking about? Tell me what you're thinking about, and then I'm going to segue in with what happened.
Before I get to what I was thinking about, I was thinking about you, Beth, because you had a birthday on the spring equinox. So always it's easy to remember Beth's birthday. You think of how colorful she is in spring. And plus, she makes a big deal out of her birthday. And I love that about her. So many people say, no presents. I had so many birthdays. I don't want to celebrate this year, but not Beth. She looks forward to it and celebrates and plans it. And I just love that about you. And I think that's a really great self-love thing that we do. Celebrate your own birthday.
Well, thank you, Patty. I appreciate that acknowledgement for throwing myself a party.
Yeah.
Which I usually do. But my birthday is always on the spring equinox, and I feel it's so powerful, and I'm so grateful that that's the portal that I was born in, because that's just all about new life and renewal and, coming through the earth that has been hard and cold and growing and nourishing yourself with the sun and the rain and everything. So it kind of reflects what we're doing here, of that self-nourishment that allows you to grow and just be vibrant. So I like the season, for one thing. And then I just, I love a party. And this time was so unusual at my birthday party. Well, I had a lovely kind of romantic day, and then had my very closest friends and family come with me. I'm in Santa Barbara, and there's extraordinarily beautiful places to go for food with views and stuff. And I just got inspired. I said, okay, we're having a party game, and I'm going to do an homage or a homage or a appreciation of each of you, because these people have been in my life most of my life. And I just poured out my heart about what I love about them. And it was and then they went around, instead of a roast, it's a kind of an opposite of a roast. They went around and all said things about me. And it was just like this glorious love fest. And I don't know, these are the things that really nourish you, I think, in the end, appreciation of one another. And actually for me too, just seeing the highest qualities of everyone that you run into or in contact with. So enough about me and my birthday, but thank you for acknowledging that.
Oh,
celebrate yourself. And that segues into that song that your daughter got you.
Yes.
On my birthday, she sent it to me.
Right. So it's the Miley Cyrus song. I think it's called Talk to Myself, that she did with Eminem. And for some reason, I was so touched by it. It's about a breakup. She's going through a breakup. So she sets the scene of that. And then she remembers, hey, wait a minute. I can take myself dancing. I can hold my own hand. I can love me better than you can. And so not to put a damper on love, because love is a wonderful thing, but it got me to thinking a lot of people, and especially young women, can lose themselves in their boyfriends, their lovers, and their husbands, and not have their own lives, or feel like they don't have their lives, or feel like they're kind of along for the ride in whatever their man is deciding. So, how do we protect ourselves from that and honor and have these wonderful loves in our life, but don't let them overtake who we are?
Yeah, that's our own responsibility. And I think you really don't need to protect anything ever or have protective mechanisms. Those are blocks to love. But you really, it's what these processes are, is that you're always getting in touch with yourself. So you're not depending on what is external to make you feel loved and give you your sense of self, because you already are, you're alive. Let's face it, your body's doing all this stuff and you're alive. You don't even know it, and you're alive. You already are thoroughly loved. And we just forget that. And it's so crazy that you brought this up. And I want to let you finish what you're saying, but I want to segue into the topic that came up for me today that I haven't even talked to you about, which is dispelling our own illusions and the bravery that that takes to dispel our own illusions that we carry, such as that we're not lovable, such as we're not powerful, such as we can't, we don't have what it takes to love ourselves. It has to come from elsewhere. And I have three things kind of showed up synchronistically to kind of move into that topic. But I want to finish I want you to finish. So you were saying about all that.
Yeah, that's interesting how those two topics kind of interweave with each other. So protect might be the right word, not be the right word. But sometimes I feel like women, and particularly young women, but it could be any age, they start to live somebody else's dream. And pretty soon it's like, I'm not really living the life I wanted to live. I'm living my spouse or my boyfriend or my other person, other significant other in your life. I'm starting to do whatever they want. And pretty soon it's like, I don't feel like I have power in choosing my own life. I've kind of gotten in the habit of living where you want to live, doing what you want to do, and losing myself. So that's the topic that I was thinking of that can be a danger for young women. And it's not anything but what they're doing to themselves, but inadvertently.
Yeah. And I think nobody's exempt from that. I think as at my ripe age with lots of experience, I also have to learn to feel what is mine, and you have to have a partner that can consciously negotiate that with you, such as say, I think that in fact, I was going to mention a family member of mine who's 56 and going through this, in that she's extremely powerful and very accomplished, but is actually aligning herself to her boyfriend who is not in that state of awareness or power. And she asked if I talked to her today, and I'm just all about this bravery that it takes to dispel these illusions that we build around us that put us in these cages. So, and I experienced that just myself with someone that I'm seeing. They have a particular idea of how something will go, and I know my own needs well enough, and I said I have to speak it, and then you navigate what works for the relationship, and when you have to defer to the other person, and when you can actually have what you need. But in order to do all that and have a conscious relationship, you really have to know first that you're loved already inside yourself, and then you've got to know what you want and what makes you feel good. And so there's room for both complete self-autonomy and complete joining, I think. So it's a fascinating topic.
It is an interesting topic. And then realizing that it may just be your own illusion too, thinking of it as an illusion. This is the kind of story that I'm telling myself.
And you can write another story too about the whole thing. But it's crazy. I got this other confirmation. I went to turn my little meditation app on this morning, and it just flashes on this little quote of wisdom. So I didn't really get it, but it said something like, clear thinking is more a quality of bravery than intelligence. And I went, what? And I said, oh, that is so on target
Mm-hmm.
that's so on target for what I was thinking about with my family member that I'm going to speak to today, that she actually is calling on me as her auntie
Oh,
to,
how sweet.
I know, well,
Mm-hmm.
can you help me dispel this illusion? I'm in an illusion in this relationship, and I can't see why other people are perceiving things differently, or I'm in this space. What can you, help me? She was brave enough, in a total act of bravery, rather than saying, hey, I'm fine, I don't want to deal with this. This is, what help me with clarity, because I think there's some illusion here going on that's trapping me, and I can't see it. That's an act of bravery. That's thinking bravely. And then I also get these daily quotes, and like we speak of Abraham Hicks a bunch, and it was all about that today too, which was like, oh really? I mean, kind of dispelling they were talking about flawed premises, and how when you have flawed premises and you think them over and over and over again, you keep getting more and more and more evidence. So you create an illusion that appears so real, but it's because you've thought the same thing over and over. And again, the bravery to dispel the illusions that we create by thinking certain things over and over, like, I have no power, I am unloved unless this individual loves me, or whatever, like that. So anyway, go ahead, Patty. Get in there. I'm not just going to say everything here.
Yes, well, it kind of ties into our topic last week. I mean, we referred to it as dieting or being a certain weight, and what subconscious beliefs might be making this happen. So that, again, it's kind of an illusion that we're perpetrating with our subconscious beliefs.
Yeah, and our perpetual thoughts
Yes.
of not self-love, which is, our basic theme here in this show, is self-love, which is simply self-power and its connection to your essential nature, which is a beautiful, alive being full of source energy that's connected to everything when you really get in there and feel it. So, yeah. And of course, body illusion and body awareness is rampant in the culture, where nobody is spared from that. Have you ever met someone that says, oh, I'm perfect and I've loved myself my entire life through all my changes of flab and not flab? And it would be a real rarity to find.
It would be. Even
Never
the
made
most
a
beautiful
body
people
judgment, right?
sometimes, yeah, have their insecurities. Or
Yeah.
also, sometimes the most beautiful people physically can become a little bit too obsessed with their outer selves and not go in as deep. Not always. I don't mean to make a generalization, but it can happen because there's so much on social media all the time. And they say that our younger generation, I guess it would be Gen X, the kids that are maybe in college, finishing up high school, there is a very, very high level of depression and anxiety, which is so very sad. So something is going on. I don't mean to oversimplify it, but somehow that message of self-love is not reaching their souls.
Oh, well, that's a whole other
I know.
that's a whole other big topic right there, like
Mhm.
having to live up, but maybe it's universal still too, having to live up to whatever that person is on that they see on social media, because there's, all the fake lives that look so perfect, and all the videos where, everyone looks a certain way, but
But it
I
all
mean, it's
ties
been
back to
forever
the
that
illusions, Beth,
the
the
illusion.
illusions that we have. So that illusion topic that you brought up, it's a huge one.
Yeah, it's really huge. And it seems to be showing up a lot for me to take a look at, because I look at, as I'm progressing in my own sort of new relationship, I'm looking at where I have illusions of separation that don't need to be there. And I will, but then it's fun to look at those too. It's
I
part
don't
of
know
the
what that
joy.
means, Beth.
Oh, okay. So that would mean like I put up a wall uh, to someone out of my own projections of maybe childhood wounding or things that
So for
I.
protection, the thing that you said
Yes, it
we should
is.
never
It
have
is
to
the
do.
thing.
Okay.
The thing that I said you should never have to do, which is
Uh-huh.
protection, which I that's an illusion. That is
Mm-hmm.
a wall, an energetic wall that is illusory, that blocks anything that blocks you from pure love and love only is an illusion. It's illusory. It's a creation of the mind.
Right.
And so I look at that when I put up a block up. I went, okay, what is that illusion? Do I want to? What's my payoff in keeping that illusion going? Where I'm creating separation. I'm making a judgment, or I'm saying I need this, and you're not giving me that, and you know, and you're at fault or whatever it is. So I have to go in there and go like, okay, am I willing to give up that illusion? And what's it stem from? It's another one of those fun internal dialogues to know yourself better, which is what this is all about too. And I found like some childhood thing that was maybe I knew about, but it comes up when you're actually experientially in a relationship. I went, okay, that's how I'm getting my value, but that's not where my value is. And it did have to do with, you know, physicality and so forth. So that's why you got to be checking yourself, but that's the fun game. That's
The
a
fun game.
game.
I love that. Yeah. Exploring
It's a totally
yourself
fun
and your
game.
feelings and what limiting thoughts or beliefs do I have that are illusions. I love that you came up with the idea of illusions. That's a really core to the whole topic.
It is, and it seemed to just pop in my brain. And I actually wrote a little story for my family member who's going to come today, who wanted ask me, not in so many words, to dispel illusions, but you know, to seek the truth that she can't see, or just have an outside point of view. And so I wrote like a little fairy tale that kind of explained her story and shifted it up. So, I mean, there's all kinds of ways you can deal with your illusions. And then we might want to say, if they are so real, if you've thought these thoughts so much that you don't even know they're illusions, they're so solid of a reality in your life, how do you even know that it's an illusion? Like she's asking me to have an outside look, but how do you even know? But I guess it's because something doesn't feel right, would you say? I mean, or you feel love is blocked, or you're blocking love like I did. And I had to look at that. What do you, I mean, how do you think you even see those? Like your daughter.
It's hard to identify A, B, C consciously.
Yeah.
But it's something that you maybe feel is not right, you know,
Yes.
in a relationship, perhaps even like they look perfect, they have perfect manners, they act perfect, but something doesn't feel right. So sometimes we build these illusions, but it's not really in line with the core of who we are. On the other hand, I don't really want to call this illusions, but you can make up a fairy tale life and you can make it happen by manifesting it. So some people could say those are illusions, but I'm thinking illusions are things that are not really in touch with the core of who you are.
Exactly. And that's why that's it. And that's why your meditation comes in, because that's one of the prime ways that you can begin to really feel yourself and go like, where am I limiting my life? And why would I want to do that? And yes, I have the possibility. And yes, I have the opportunity. And yes, I have the choice. So that's why like your meditation is so important. And movement also liberates us from the traps of our mind. So both those things that we offer really do. And oh my gosh, look, we're just about at the end of our session today.
Well, I hope you followed our conversation okay today, because we're very loosey-goosey, but I enjoyed it tremendously. I hope that our listeners did too.
Thank you. Yeah. And I think, you know, it's kind of like making art. This is how you make art. You have an inspiration and you just keep grooving with it, or, you know, moving with it, and it presents itself in some magical way. And that's
Oh,
kind of,
what a great description. I love that.
oh, well,
I
thanks.
loved making art with you today.
I loved it too, because things just come out. And I want to just tell our listeners how grateful I am to have the opportunity to talk about these things with you, because I think about this stuff all the time, but sharing it with Patty and making it real and sharing with you makes it real. It's the most beautiful thing to just do all this together. So I want to thank you so much.
It really is. And we really want to hear from you. If you have any comments or ideas, please send them to us.
On
yes.
YouTube.
Yes.
Don't forget. Oh yeah. Look for us on Instagram, Beth_Amin. I'm not sure what Patty's is. I'm also on Facebook as Beth Amin. And, if you want to send us in your email, we'll put you on our list and let you know cool stuff. So make sure that you keep in contact with us any way you can. And Patty, do you have any info that you wanted to say?
Well, just for you teach classes at theloopvillage.com. So at this point, they're giving some free memberships, or so you could take Beth's movement classes. And at some point, we're going to talk about why that movement and meditation is so important. But really, it's all about getting in touch with the soul of who you are.
Yes, absolutely. That's saying it right. So coming up now are our movement and meditation segments. And we want to thank you for joining us. Tell your friends and come every week and chat with us and share. So thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Patty.
you, Beth.
So Patty, shall I take it over with a little bit of
that would be wonderful. I'm going to be ready
a
to
little bit
stretch
of
right
movement
along with you.
Hi everyone, I'm Beth Amin. Thank you for joining us on our podcast. This is our segment of Joyous Movement, which is a form of movement that I developed that's just fun and essentially created to give your body joy and connect you to the fluidity of life. And today we're going to have a theme of dispelling illusion and moving into the present moment and the beauty of the present moment. So here we go, just a few minutes of movement. And I want you to start out by being aware of your posture. Tummy's in tight, shifting weight from one foot to the other. And I do want you to know that all these movements can be done in a chair. You can do it if you do not have the use of your legs, or if you just need to be seated or in a wheelchair. Everything adapts to it. So if you're in your chair, I want you to just swing your arms gently from side to side and move from one sway to the other. And if you are standing, I would like to have you feel the shift of your weight as you gently flow with the earth and the floor beneath you. You can make that just a little bit wider. Allow your head to relax and your side to slightly stretch. Now make the movement just a little wider and pull out with your hand leading as you shift your weight, as if you're drawing your body to one side of the wall and the other. I'm making kind of a circular motion here with my hand as I draw myself out around to the wall, around to the wall. And now we're going to pay attention to our breathing. Now that we've got a little bit of motion from our feet up to our head, let's create a nice stance and open as we breathe in, shifting our weight still and exhaling down. And I want your palms to be up and looking up and exhaling down. As you breathe in and breathe out, and just become aware of this beautiful moment. So breathing in, looking up, and breathing out, looking down. And if this motion is too big for your arms and your shoulders, just make it smaller. You're just in your chair, you want to do this much. Just be aware of the fluidity and the breath as it comes in and moves out. And if you feel like really opening your heart and your lungs, come all the way around. Very, very nice. And let's go in the opposite direction as we breathe in and exhale through the middle. I'm still shifting my weight from one side to the other, looking looking up and looking down as I open as big as I can, or as small as feels comfortable. Now one arm, and if you can gently lift off the foot where the weight is not, the opposite foot, and get a little bit of a spring. And I'm simply moving up off my heel on the planted foot, which is a really great stretch for your feet. Now let's do that on the opposite side. Lifting up slightly off the heel of the planted foot and setting this other foot free. And now lifting on both sides, just like we're floating along. And if you want to take that a little bit forward, I'm just coming forward so I can actually see you. Hello. And we can open this way, gently flying, breathing in and breathing out. And you can make it as big as you can. A liberation, lifting your legs if you can. And if you're in your chair, you can lift your legs to the side if you have the use of your legs. And if not, there's so much you can gain just from your upper body, moving and breathing. Now we're going to bring our arms down our bodies. Everybody can do this. Just giving a gentle massage to the thighs if that's as far as you can go. No worries. You can go a little farther. Just shift your weight. Stretch your back. And gently round up one vertebrae at a time. Oh, good. Bring your shoulders back and down. A nice circular motion. Rotate your head in a very gentle circular way. You can use your upper body as well. Pull in your core and come the other direction. All the way around. Good. And let's take a few nice deep breaths together and we'll move on to our meditation. So, posture, chest lifted, heart open, lungs ready to receive wonderful air, feet planted. Let's open up and take a great deep breath in, tickle the sky, exhale down. Bend your knees, take a deep breath in, look up, exhale down, and let's do one more. Here we go. And fly into our meditation and then the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me. I love being here with you and having some gentle movement. So, theme of the day, dispel illusions, be in the moment, and love it all. All right. Mwah.
Today's meditation will help you to release a limiting belief and replace it with one that will allow you to attain your heart's desire. Let's get started. Lie down or sit down in a comfortable position. If you're sitting, have your feet flat on the floor with your spine straight. Whichever position you're in, place your palms upward. Your shoulders are loose and free. Your hips are loose and free. With your mouth closed, take a deep breath in and hold your breath. And breathe out very slowly. Breathe in and hold. And breathe out all the air. Repeat and feel your entire body relaxing. Focus on the space between your eyebrows. In your mind's eye, see yourself at the trailhead of a hiking trail that winds up a large hill. You are wearing a backpack, which is a bit heavy on your shoulders. Inside the backpack is a large rock, which contains a belief that is limiting you. It could be a long-held belief about yourself, others, or the world at large. Can you identify it? As you walk consciously and steadily along the trail, you realize that the limiting belief you've been carrying no longer serves you. Today, you can let it go. You can replace it with an empowering and positive belief that will help you to attain your dreams. Think of that empowering and positive thought right now. With each step on the trail, you feel more and more at peace. The earth feels solid beneath your feet, and you're surprised to discover that your backpack feels lighter and lighter with every step you take. You feel lighter too. Some birds are flitting from tree to tree, while others are perched on branches, singing merrily. The backpack feels lighter and lighter with each step you take. You feel lighter and lighter too, while at the same time you feel a solid grounding beneath your feet. The trail veers to the left and crosses a running stream. There are large rocks that you use as stepping stones to cross the stream. As you near the other side, you see a large rock, big enough for you to lie down on. Take that big step. You're standing on the large rock now. It's such a peaceful spot. Sit on the rock. Enjoy the sun on your legs, arms, and face, and the sound of the ever-moving soft current. Open your backpack. The rock that once weighed you down is now the size of a pebble. You don't need it at all now. You are ready to let it go once and for all. Toss the pebble into the stream and watch your limitation float away down the stream and out of sight. You won't miss it. You have chosen a positive, empowering thought to replace it. Say your empowered thought out loud or internally to yourself. Lie down on the rock. Put the empty backpack under your head to use as a pillow. Feel the warmth of the sun on your arms, legs, and face. The sun feels heavenly, and the sound of the running stream whispers that you are in the flow. You've changed. Envision what you'll do with your new empowering belief. Watch yourself attain all that you've been dreaming of. There's nothing to hold you back. Stay here, basking in the sun and the freedom of your empowered thought for as long as you'd like. When you're ready, gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Then, open your eyes halfway to reorient yourself to your environment.